Hi everyone, welcome back to the Social Media Simternship by Stukent. In this video, we are going to walk through round 2, the second organic social post round. If you remember from round 1, we created 3 organic social posts, one on Facebook, one on Instagram, and one on TikTok. And at the end, we submitted our scores, and I received a total score of 80%. This score is made up from our impressions and our revenue. Unfortunately, I did not meet the impressions goal, so I only received 30 out of 50 points. However, I did receive the full points for revenue, as my revenue exceeded the goal. So overall, this is a really good start in the simulation. However, I encourage you to create additional posts so that way you are creating more impressions and will be able to achieve 100%. So in this, first thing we want to do is look at the data from round 1. So you can watch this organic post result walkthrough, which will give you some information on understanding your posts. Then we can scroll down and look at our posts by each individual platform. So here I'm on Facebook and I have my post. So I created one Facebook post Tuesday, and this gives me all the information about that one specific post. Now I want to click on the feedback. So the feedback is provided from Stukent that tells you things that you did well and areas that you can improve. So it shows me my post over here on the left-hand side, and it tells me that my post was perfect. I used Buoy's analytics to target the right audience with effective media, words, hashtags, timed per Buoy social media audit. So overall, nice job on our Facebook post. So this is great. If we receive a perfect on our posts, these are posts that we likely want to continue the concept. We do not want to repeat this exact same post in the second week or any future weeks, but we want to repeat the concepts that we used. So using our social media audit, posting at the right times, making sure we're matching that target audience, all of that information we will try to continue. So overall, nice job on our Facebook post, right? Then let's go over here to Instagram and we can do the exact same thing. So let's look at our feedback. All right, same comments. So overall, our post was perfect. We did an outstanding job crafting a top-notch post. We hit the mark using the analytics, best media, words, hashtags. So I encourage you to read through all of that information. So overall, did a great job. Same thing. We likely want to repeat these same concepts. So posting at optimal times, making sure we're hitting that Daypacker Tom audience, using outdoor visuals, those always work well, matching our URL with our product, making sure everything is in alignment. Okay. Let's go over to TikTok now and let's see what our TikTok post did. So here, clicking on my feedback again. Okay, so this time we don't have a congratulations up here at the top and we don't have a perfect. So this is telling us that our post did not quite meet the mark. So some things that we should consider: the composition. We want to engage Buoy's audience by crafting posts with targeted, engaging language within the social media audit, character length guidelines, and avoid content that is either overly brief or unnecessarily lengthy. So if we go to our social media audit and look at our character length, I can see that the recommended character count for each post for each channel. So on TikTok, it should be between 40 and 100. And based on this post, what's in my college backpack, question mark, and then emoji, this is probably not 40 characters. So going forward, we want to make sure that our TikTok captions are longer and that they're meeting those guidelines. But it does tell us we linked the Aurora backpack landing page. That product is a perfect fit. So we are doing some things right on TikTok, but we likely want to make some improvements. So after you've looked at all of your feedback, we now would go through the information over here on the left-hand side, like we did in round 1. For this video, we're just going to click through this information a lot quicker, and you will complete this information on your own. So, a couple of quick highlights is just remember about our posting frequently, same goal for impressions and same goal for revenue for this round. So that's wonderful. Let's click on our inbox. So in our inbox, this is telling us what we need to do for the week again. So she's telling us, remember, review those analytics from last week. We already did that. You'll review all of your posts. Please make sure to do that. Review the research report, the audit, and the brand guide. The allocated budget again here is the same as it was for round 1, 1,500. And this week we are going to be creating and scheduling content for this week, posting frequently. Make sure to refer to the resources to confirm the appropriate amount of content and correct timing. Then we also do want to make sure we respond to the questions and the comments in the chat. So these are the things we need to do this week. So if I go over to the chat, I can see I have 4 messages this week that I want to respond to. So I'll let you guys do that on your own. If we go to our market information, this is the same market information we've had. So the same products, the same market profiles, and again, the same budget. So we won't spend too much time on this. Then we have our documents. Again, same documents that we had in the previous round. In this round, we're going to create 3 posts again, and we're going to spend a little bit more time looking at our brand audit. So we want to make sure that we're meeting all of the criteria on each of our posts. So let's go ahead and go over to create organic social post. And it'll give us, again, those steps that we had, as well as the walkthrough video if you'd like to watch that. And then we can just jump right in to creating content. All right, for this video, let's create 3 posts again. Let's look at our target audiences. So if you remember, we've got 7 different target audiences that we can focus in on. We did really well with our day packer, Tom, and our up-and-comer, Raj. Remember, Back to School Mindy was the TikTok post that did not perform quite as well. So for today, I think we'll create 1 post for day packer, Tom again, and then we'll create some posts for the target audiences that we've not used. So first post let's create is going to be for day packer, Tom. And for Daypacker Tom, he's 30% of our audience, and the platforms Daypacker Tom uses mostly are going to be Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And this is based off of the age, the gender, the income. So we're looking at these 3 elements and we're matching them up on our different platforms. So this time we want to use a different platform. We don't have to use a different platform. The last time we created a post on Instagram, and we could do that again. This time, I think let's create a post on TikTok just to kind of mix things up so that way you guys can see more variety. So we're going to do Daypacker Tom on TikTok. So let's go back to our simulation. We'll click on TikTok and let's start with our media. So for my media, I want something that focuses on the backpack. And this time I want something that is a little bit more varied. So I want a video that shows Daypacker Tom. He was interested in backpack, travel, hunter, camper, hiker, adventure. So I want something that's showing kind of a backpack that can be used in multiple scenarios. So let's go back to our media here. For this one, I'm going to select the Woodland Rest video. It is $450. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but what I was hoping to achieve is not available in the videos. I wanted a video that would give me kind of a transition from work to travel. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like there are any of those videos. So I'm going to select this one. It's not necessarily exactly what I wanted, but I think it will be okay. Then I'm going to add my caption. All right, we can see that our caption here is 84 characters. So if I go back up to my audit, on TikTok, my characters should be between 40 and 100. So at 84, that looks good. Then we need to select our URL. I want to go back to the market information and look at the backpacks to see what backpack this is, because it doesn't tell me exactly what that backpack is. It looks like the closest option is our American Dream backpack. So we will select that one, American Dream. Okay, now we need to select our schedule. So let's look at TikTok. And let's see what are our best engagement times. So here it tells us the best times to post on TikTok: Tuesdays 4 to 6, Wednesdays these times, Thursdays, Fridays. Let's pick Thursday at 4 p.m. So Thursday at 4 p.m., we can see that there's high engagement times around this specific time. So hopefully that will also help to increase our engagement. So we'll go back and we'll select Thursday at 4 p.m. And we'll click schedule. Okay, so our first post is scheduled. I'm not convinced that my media and my text match exactly how they should, because I wanted a video again that had work, camping, road trip, that kind of showed the backpack transitioning in different elements of your life. But we're going to go with this for now, and we're going to see how it does. So our second post that we're going to make is going to be for Energetic Jill. So let's come back up here to our engagement times spreadsheet. So we've got Energetic Jill. So we can see some information about Energetic Jill, keyword interest: sports, fitness, dance, aerobics, yoga, tote bag, duffel bag, gym. We can see Energetic Jill is on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So I think for this post, let's use Instagram for Energetic Jill. So let's come back over here to Instagram. And for this one, I think I'm going to select a post, because our posts are going to have images or infographics. So we're not going to be quite as expensive. You could select a short form video for it. But for this one, we'll just pick an image. And I want to use the Atlas duffel. Okay, so there was no Atlas, but we do have a duffel bag. So let's see, we've got this option. We have this choice and we have this one. I'm going to select this image because of the price. So in the last video, we selected 3 visuals that were all high dollar, and I want to select a visual that has a little bit low dollar to show how the budget kind of changes. And then this way it also gives us a chance to see, might there be any difference in impressions or revenue based on the price of our visual. So we will pick this one. All right, let's go over and look at our market information again. If we look at our Atlas duffel, this one is the one I wanted to focus in on. Let's see. It's not an exact match, although I'm not convinced any of these are an exact match for that visual. Okay, we're going to pretend and see what the simulation says. So let me add my caption. Add a couple of hashtags, and we're going to use that Atlas duffel. I'm hoping that because we used Atlas duffel in our caption and then we're linking to it, that will suffice, but we'll find out. All right, so we're on Instagram. So let's go look at our engagement times on Instagram. And we can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all have high engagement times. So our last post was on a Thursday. So let's put this post on a Monday. And we're going to select Monday at noon. So right here in kind of in between some other high engagement times as well. So let's do Monday at noon. And we'll click our schedule post. I want to mention here about duplicating posts. So we didn't talk about this in the last video. I do not recommend duplicating posts because it automatically lowers your scores. So if you duplicate a post, meaning that you use the same visual and the same caption on another platform, you will not receive the same score that you would if you created a post with a new visual and a new caption. So you can do it. However, your score is not going to be as high. So I recommend not doing it very often, if at all. So I'm going to go ahead and click schedule post. So now I've got my 2 posts here. And for my 3rd post, I want to target, this time we're going to use Seaside Sally. So Seaside Sally here, beach style, tote bags, sea, sailing, fishing. We can see that Seaside Sally is on Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook. So I think for this one, let's go with Pinterest. We've not used the Pinterest platform yet, so let's do that. So we'll click on Pinterest, create a pin. And for my media, I want something that is outdoors, kind of beachy. So let's see. I do have some good beach options. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see what our options are. So we can see that we've got a variety of beach-related posts. Let's go with let's select Coastal Joy. So we've got a woman on the beach carrying a large woven tote bag and it has a towel in it. So we'll select this one. We're going to put our caption here. Beach days are better with room for everything. Let's go look at our audit. So we're on Pinterest. So Pinterest, we want to have a character count minimum of 40 up to 125. So on ours, we have character count of 49. So I think this is going to be a little bit low, but we're going to go ahead and select it for this video so you guys can kind of see it meets the character count, but it's on the lower side. So let's use our Bahamas tote for this one. So back over to our market information. So our Bahamas tote, kind of a large tote bag here. And since we're at the beach, Bahamas sounds good. Okay, so let's look at best times to post on Pinterest. So let's go back up to our audience or our audit, excuse me, and we'll look at our Pinterest times. So Pinterest is interesting because the best times to post are Tuesday through Friday at 1 a.m. Okay, this feels odd that 1 a.m. would be the best time to post, but we're going to follow it. So let's go with Friday at 1 a.m. since we don't have a post on Friday yet. So we'll go back to our simulation. We will do Friday and we'll pick 1 a.m. and we'll click schedule post. Okay, so again, we'll only make 3 posts for this video, but you can see that down here, we do still have a balance left. So I selected visuals that had lower cost associated with them this time. So that way you could see that you can have plenty of budget left over. For this video, we'll go ahead and click submit. So it's telling us we didn't complete everything quite yet because I didn't answer those chat messages, but that's okay. And we'll click submit to see how we did. Okay, so our score is posted, and unfortunately this time we did worse in round 2 than we did in round 1. We will start our round 3 video by talking about our results from round 2, and then we will make some new posts going forward. All right, I'll see you guys again back in round 3.